Welcome to this week's edition of the Sports Scoop Coaches Show. Back in the old right-hand seat is...
Art Star.
Who is it?
It's the snowman.
It's the snowman.
Yeah, okay. I don't have a name for him yet. Maybe some viewers out there come up with a name for him.
With the voice of Ted Hammond. Welcome back, Teddy.
Thank you.
Good to see you.
Yeah, it was fun being over in Wisconsin. It wasn't fun watching the Packers play the Bears, but it was fun over in Wisconsin.
Well, let's get into the high school scene this week, Teddy.
We got a bunch today.
And we're going to go in reverse order today, just like we do once in a while. Gymnastics, Waseca, Scott Young is back for another year. And I see on their roster they only have one senior on the team. So they'll be very young this year, coming off a good year. They have not started yet. They open Tuesday night at Byron.
Okay, the Bears, Byron Bears.
The wrestling teams, I think one has started, but no results. Waseca will be under the leadership of Zach Hall again. Pretty young once again. I think he has 3 or 4 seniors on the team, but there'll be a couple Milbrett boys in the lineup this year, and they get underway Tuesday night when they head down to Fairmont to face Fairmont and New Ulm in a triangular.
How'd you like to be a wrestler coming off from Thanksgiving?
I wouldn't like to be a wrestler at all.
Okay. Okay. I'm just saying, those poor kids, they got to cut weight anyhow, and then all of a sudden you got Thanksgiving to kick off the season. That's not good.
Get out the pails. Time to start spitting.
Oh, Lord. I used to let them do that in my class.
Did you?
Seriously, they'd have a cup they bring to class, and I go, quarter pound I got to lose, and they sit there and spit.
You're a good guy.
Well, I don't know about that. But.
WMJWP, the Grizzlies, coached by Adam Ressler and Troy Steer. They have not started yet. I think they open up Thursday of this week. They have Waseca and LeSueur Henderson coming to town.
Yep, just saw Adam, and he's pretty optimistic about this season. He got those Moran brothers over there at Waterville, and they get the Grizzlies when they join forces together. So they practice 1 week in Janesville and 1 week in Waterville. This poor guy's got to bus once a week or I don't know.
That's been a good combination though, for the wrestling program, because those were 2 awfully good wrestling teams, and then all of a sudden the numbers crunched and they put them together, and everybody, I remember when that started, those 2 schools will never get together. They'll never have any friendships, and it's been great for the wrestling.
They meshed really well. And even got guys date girls in Waterville and vice versa. It's unreal.
NRHEG, Sean Larson is back for another season, and I believe the Panthers did get underway yesterday. I think there was a tournament at John Marshall or Century someplace in Rochester. But when I left this morning, there were no results up yet, so...
Andy didn't get any results
do not know how they did.
Okay.
The Panthers, Thursday, Blooming Prairie will be in New Richland to open up the Gopher Conference season. So the wrestling teams, by next week, will all have been underway.
Okay.
The hockey teams, both Waseca boys and girls had the entire week off. Just a week on the practice ice. The boys have played just 1 game so far this season. They lost to Century. Thursday, Fairmont comes to town. The girls, who are 2-2-1 for the season, had the whole week off as well. Tuesday, Rochester Century comes to town. So Kyle's played the most of anybody with the girls because they start the first in the winter, but everybody's going to get busy real fast.
See how the hockey team does without Alfers and Eichen and those guys. They some good seniors. I
had Thanksgiving dinner with Cody and his family, and Cody had the numbers. The boys graduated 82% of their scoring from last year. So they've got some holes to fill.
Well, I graduated for 57 out of 60 points.
Yes, you did.
Yes, you did.
Girls basketball team just starting to get underway. NRHEG and WM, they have not played a game as of yet. The Panthers Tuesday have Tri-City United coming to town, and the Buccaneers Tuesday travel to Belle Plaine. So both of those teams are coming off pretty good seasons, and of course Waterville coming off the state championship in volleyball with Tierney Winter, and so they're looking forward to getting underway.
Well, yeah, you got 2 state champs, right? Belle Plaine won it for the girls volleyball. That'd be quality girls going against them. I'm sure they play in basketball if they play volleyball.
I would imagine. The JWP girls got underway last weekend. They had 2 games in a tournament at Sleepy Eye. They got crushed in the first round by Sleepy Eye,
Public.
67-30. And then they bounced back and beat Sleepy Eye St. Mary's 55-53. I see Hannah Olson had 24 in the victory. And JWP should be all right this season, shouldn't they? They have they started to make some big comeback last year, and they're figuring that game out.
They just need some consistency of the coaching. Obviously, they're going through that little realm right now, but I met this girl, Kirsten Prunty. I think she is a New Ulm Cathedral star.
That sounds like a Prunty is a New Ulm name. Yep.
And I watched her, looked at her practice a couple times, just looked in, and she's got things under control, and the girls are going to benefit from her tutelage. And they, one-on-one they start out. She got her first victory, and I'm sure she's going to get many more.
The Bulldogs play Monday again, tomorrow already. TCU comes to Jadenville. And Waseca, Joni Conway's crew, coming off a 23-win season. Last year, they opened up Saturday afternoon against Worthington. Final score, Waseca 66, Worthington 44. Did not get out to the game, Teddy, but that's a lot of points for Joni's teams. They've been known for defense last year, but that's a lot of points for your first game.
She's got some youngsters there, and then some seniors that provide leadership with the Hyam and Cumberfeld, I think she's on there. Okay, so yeah, Joni, bless her heart. I can remember when she used to play for me, and it's just fun to see her have this success.
And they held Worthington to 14 points in the second half yesterday.
Who's that speaking?
I don't know. Is that you, Hudson?
Snowman.
Hudson, yeah. Snowman.
Waseca got a 38-30 halftime lead yesterday.
Whoa.
The Hafe and I were talking last week, Teddy, and I'm sure the Waseca girls team will get a lot of points from their defense, off the defensive pressure.
Well, we have the Carson twins, okay, and then you got the Galoff and the
Young Hiller.
Yep. So
they'll be tough in the outside.
She just reloaded.
Yep. And the Waseca girls play Tuesday. They travel to Rochester Lourdes for their next game.
I remember those games, Myron Glass.
Boys basketball team, Teddy. We didn't have much to talk about your two games because we didn't have any action. So if you want to give us a quick review of your two games, you went 1-1 to start the season.
Yeah, we didn't have a game last week at all.
Right.
First game, kind of like I didn't know what we had, so we kind of felt out Truman the first half. They hit 9 out of 11 3-pointers in the first half. They'd bring up 50 points in the first half, and we thought, well, we were playing man. Then we went to our half trap and zone, and they just shot us out of it. So at halftime, we're down 50-34, and I just said we're going full court man the rest of the game. And I just started platooning. We've got these juniors that had to get their feet wet. So all of a sudden, boom, we're down by 2 with a minute to go. Had a 3 that kind of did the old toilet blow where, it goes in and spins back out. And then ended up, they had a couple free throws at the end. They won by 4. So had a heck of a comeback. It was 83-79. For us, 79 points, a lot of points, especially without scoring from last year. We're led by, I call him Turtle, and the kids call him Turtle, but now after watching him play, I'm going to call him Cheetah because he's much faster than he looks, okay? But Brandon Sack, he came through with 27 points, looked really good, and then he was also our leading scorer the next night. But we got a bunch of guys. We could have 4 or 5 guys in double figures because we're going to get out now after watch the second half of that Truman game. Truton, Grenada, Hunley, East Chain, Martin Luther.
Yeah.
It's a mouthful. But they got 3 really quality guys inside. A guy named Walter, he kind of ate us up. He had 27. But other than that, we had a great comeback. The crowd came up after the game and said, geez, we didn't know what to expect, but we're really enthused. And then we took that, carried over into Saturday night against Alden. Last year we played the tournament championship with Alden. This year we're playing for 3rd place, and I reminded the guys of that. They beat us last year by 1, and let's take them out this year. So we went in full court man to man. They didn't have the guards. They got 3 big guys inside. If they can get the ball down the court and get into the big guys, they're going to be all right. But we had to disrupt that, and we did. So I'm just running guards after guards at them, and with full court pressure, and unfortunately the guards couldn't handle that pressure. So it was like 76-48 or something like that. Our goal is to keep everybody under 55. We should be in the ball game. So we accomplished it in one game. The other game we did. So then we have a whole week off. But now it's coming up tomorrow. This is Sunday morning. Tomorrow we go to Alden, which is a quirk. Yeah. I don't like the tournament because it's all conference teams, and then you end up playing somebody right away again.
Yep.
Now we got to go to Alden. Alden's a tough place to play. Matt Potter's hometown. And never had a good game in Alden. It's a big it's like kind of like playing a BA, and they got the stage behind you, and then they got concrete steps on the other side. I warned the guys. I said, you can't take them lightly, even though we just drilled them the last game. Now we got to come back and go to their place. So we'll see what happens. Then we go to TCU on Thursday, and then we go to Cleveland on Friday. And TCU, I talked to Coach Dufall from Waseca. He gave me kind of a scouting report on TCU. They got some guys back from last year, one named Rinda, who really ate us up last year, but we still beat them. So we'll see how we do without the contingent we had last year. And then Cleveland just coming off a big tournament when they had to host their own tournament, but there's not really quality of teams there. But this Carter Colpet, I don't know how you pronounce it. Colpet. Anyway, Target. Mr. Carter. Anyhow, this kid's the real deal. He's had like doubles the first 2 games. He's been high 20s.
What is he, a sophomore now?
He's only a sophomore. He's been starting since 8th grade. So that would be obviously a key for us to hold him in check, and then hopefully we can pick up the other ones. But right now, I got 10 guys that want to play ball, and as long as we avoid the injury jinx, we're going to be going up and down. We're fun to watch.
Yeah, good. NRHEG, they had the whole week off as well as the Bulldogs. They lost their opener to a good Redwood Valley team. The Panthers got 27 points from Oakley Baker. I think Oakley must be a junior now, finally, huh? He's been playing since 8th grade as well. Tuesday, they travel to LeSueur Henderson for their next game. WEM, Wags has the boys off and running. 2-0 start. They beat LeSueur 76-64 on Tuesday night to get their second win of the year. Monday, they travel to Belle Plaine. That's usually a pretty good matchup in basketball, so that'll be interesting to see how those 2 teams do up there. And, of course, the Bucks have Mr. Eric Olson in the center.
The kids are telling me about he apparently put a facial on somebody. Okay, now facial to me means you jumped over the guy and stuffed it, and apparently some guy decided to get in his way and he went right over top of him.
And I know they do have a little size this year because they also start Joel Gross, his son, and he's 6'6", although very slender, but they're going to have a little size underneath this year, which is a little unusual for them.
Got the aircraft carrier inside.
You betcha.
And you got, was talking about this Olsen, these kids today with their little, I call them Ziggies, okay, their little social media devices they got. They communicate all the time. So, all of a sudden they contact somebody saying, Claire, how'd you guys do tonight? So if nothing else, it's develop some camaraderie with area teams.
Yep.
Or you're gonna eat our lunch, or whatever. The football team, they're always looking online. Milbrook was always checking what the other teams are saying about us, and then they'd use that for some fuel for the big game. Yeah. Sure. So those things. You got one of those gadgets?
No,
I don't either.
Andy just taught me how to text a couple of months ago. So
you're way ahead of me. Hey, give me a typewriter.
The Blue Jays, Waseca, off to a 3-0 start. Teddy, they went up to Hutchinson on Tuesday. We broadcast up there, and really an entertaining game if you like scoring. I told Don that the coaches are probably just churning inside, but the first half was 3-point line to 3-point line. I don't think they covered the rest of the court either way. Come down, let her fly, and both teams were hitting. Waseca ends up winning at 83-75. That's a lot of points early in the year.
Did you talk to Greg Vilta?
Yes, I saw him at the end of the game.
How did his son Fletcher
His son's a very nice-looking ball player.
Okay.
Very, very fundamentally sound.
Good.
Then the Jays played Worthington yesterday afternoon. Waseca 77-56 winner for their third straight, and according to the paper, Nick Dufault had 30 points yesterday. So the Jays have some kids that can score.
I tell you what, I'm impressed with their big guy Guzzi. The guy is in shape. So
he gets a lot of buckets beating teams down the floor. Yep. He really does. He's a good rebounder, but when the ball's secure, he's off, and he just about always beats the man that's guarding him down the floor. And a lot of times he beats the rest of the people.
Our first fast break is to get the 5-man down on the block and get it to him, get an easy layup, and he'd be perfect for anybody.
Yep. So the Jays off to a 3-0 start, shooting the ball real well to start the year. Tuesday they start conference play. St. Peter comes to town, and I believe that one might be on the radio.
St. Peter's looking tough.
Yeah, they're off to a good start too.
Yeah.
Well, that pretty much covers our high school scene, Teddy.
Okay.
And I know you're just dying to move into some of this big-time stuff.
No.
But we'll start you out.
Got a frog in my throat.
We'll start you out easy and go with MSU first.
Okay, okay.
Men's basketball, 5-1 start, Teddy. But I saw they said 4 of the 4 victories have been against NAIT
Yeah.
teams. So they start conference play now against Augustana, and I think they're still kind of looking for what they have. They really aren't sure.
They're going to start playing some A squads now, not the B squad.
Yep. The women's basketball team, I believe they're 2-2 to start the season. They got a win last night, and Lexi Alfers, who just graduated last year, said, "Yeah, they've had a few team meetings already." So I said, "Lexi, you should have took that red shirt and played this year. You could have really been the star."
She could have been,
But
she was anyhow. Really.
Yeah, she had a good career. And the hockey team, Teddy, 7-6-2 to start the season.
Well, at least they had a double win weekend.
Yep,
Good
finally
grief.
got a sweep over the weekend.
Yes, the ties, they're kissing your sister. No offense, Connie and Holly, these are my sisters.
The Gus Davis crew, the men's basketball, 1-1 start. The women's basketball, a 3-1 start. So the Gussies always pretty competitive in both men and women's hoops.
I like going over there. You can stand up in that top railing up there and look down on the game.
Yeah, that's a great place to watch a game.
It is.
And I think the Gusty hockey is off to like a 2-4-2 start.
I think they beat Stout, though, I think.
And they beat Augsburg.
Okay.
Yeah. The Gophers. We have to talk about the mighty, mighty Gophers. And
which one are we talking about?
we're going to start
Volleyball?
with football.
We're not going to volleyball?
We're going to start with football. And Teddy, if the Gophers get into a bowl game at 5-7,
They could.
I'm going to have a breakdown.
They could.
I'm going to have a breakdown.
Okay.
We now have so many bowls that they said there's not enough teams that are 6-6 to qualify for all of them. So like 3 teams that are 5-7 are going to get into some fantastic bowl.
How could the Gophers not get in?
Oh, who would want the Gophers?
How'd they do against Ohio State?
They're pathetic.
How'd they do against
They
Ohio
are
State?
pathetic.
Okay.
Teddy,
How'd they do against Michigan?
I think that your 9th grade team tackles better than the Gophers.
Boy,
I have never seen a team miss so many tackles with arms flailing.
Let me write that down. Kugath says.
Kugath says.
Boy, oh boy, that's pretty
And if you're going to play...
pretty heavy stuff you're unloading here.
If you're going to play with Mitch Leidner as your quarterback, granted, he's been pretty good the last few weeks, but if he's going to be your quarterback, you can never afford to fall behind.
No.
Because he's not going to throw 40 times a game and bring you back in.
No. You're right.
But there was a highlight yesterday. For the first time in 5 games, I saw Tracy Claeys speak.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't.
No, other than a press conference.
Right.
At the game. You know, stocking cap down, arms folded, no emotion, no nothing, but a ref came up to him and told him something, and I could see him mouth thanks.
Oh, my God. Got good manners.
That's the first thing I've seen out of the guy.
Well, I always looked up the definition stoic in the dictionary, and there was this picture right next to it. Very stoic.
Well,
You got to be with the schedule he was handed when he took over in the middle of the season.
when they hired him, I said he's going to be 1-4 when he's done at the end of the year. Why did they feel that they had to sign him up? It's not like people would be coming after him.
No.
But
They got that system, and it worked for Kill, and they're saying that he's a prodigy of Kill, so let's hope it carries on.
yeah, let's hope it does. Men's basketball, Teddy Gophers 4-2 to start the season.
They're looking pretty shaky.
Yeah, they're going to have trouble in the Big Ten.
Yeah, Joey King, he's had up and down games, but he's going to have to carry him.
And when Joey's got to carry you,
You're in trouble.
Joey should be playing at MSU. But
Yeah, he could be.
the volleyball team wins the Big Ten Conference for the Gophers, their 2nd ever in history.
And who'd they
How
have to
about
beat
that?
to do that?
Indiana.
And the Penn State.
Penn State the weekend before.
Yeah, I watched those girls play, and I'm thinking, hey, the Gophers beat them.
Yeah.
They're pretty doggone tough. Yeah. So
How about
that's
that?
fun to see.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now they hired the Olympic coach or something, and they had to wait like 18 months till he got done with the Olympics and take over. But evidently that was a pretty good wait.
A good hire.
Yep. The women's basketball team, 4-1 start. Rachel Bannum, now the all-time leading scorer. Carly's had double figures in every game. I saw she's averaging about 20 points a game, 19.6, and she's played more minutes than anyone as a sophomore.
Can you imagine that backcourt duo? Really? Any
Is
coach
one
would-
ball enough?
Yeah. No, I'm sure there will be because the two are unselfish too, I think. But yeah, what a great backcourt.
And the Gopher hockey team, 4-6, and
Boy.
they're screaming for Lucia's head again.
Yep. I watched them. Was Friday night? I tell you, St. Cloud came back and beat them, and there was a lot of booing going on.
Yeah. I think they play St. Cloud again today.
Yeah. It's that kind of interstate series where they go back and forth between the two homes. I don't know. I watched them, and the goalie, he's kind of shaky. I don't know. I'm not a hockey aficionado, but the Gophers are not like they used to be.
Well, the big problem, I think, with the Gophers is you always look and you say, boy, they'll really be good next year, and then they lose 4 guys to the draft.
Yeah.
So they never have kids more than a couple years. So
Kinda
that's tough.
Kentucky basketball.
Yep.
You got a freshman year, see ya.
Yep. Minnesota Wild, disappointing last night, Teddy.
Disappointing last 3 at home.
But really last night, you're up 3-0 after 2.
And I turned it. I should have never said this on the air, but I turned it to watch Notre Dame against Stanford.
I switched too.
And that was a great game. I switched back, and it says they lost.
Yep.
What in the world?
Yeah.
God.
They are 11-7-3 overall.
Yeah, but they kept talking about they had 4 out of 5 home games this last week and a half, and they've lost 3 of the 4 already.
Yeah.
Jeez Louise. But I'd love watching him. Parisi's back, so that'll help him.
I love that overtime, I'll tell you.
Isn't
That
that
3-on-3, I just love that.
That is great. A lot of people love that.
But the team that did have a good week were the Wolves, Teddy. 3 wins, beat Philly, beat Atlanta, beat Sacramento.
I was going to say, on the West Coast.
So they are now 8-8 for the year. How about that?
I love it.
Today they have the Clippers, or out in L.A., I believe.
Yep, and they got Rubio back.
Yep.
So Pekovic, I did have a sighting. I saw him.
Well, I've seen him for 2 years in street clothes behind the bench.
Well, at least he's out there yet.
I did hear him say they thought maybe by Christmas
that
he might be back now.
For what?
Yeah.
A week?
Yeah.
You know.
Him and Rubio, they just can't keep him on the court, can they?
No. Sad. I'd like to make money like that.
Well, we have to talk, Teddy. I know you hate to do it, but
okay.
We always kind of save the Vikes and Green Bay for the end.
Yeah.
And Green Bay just played maybe their best game of the year in trouncing the Vikes.
Yeah.
I mean, that was total domination.
And it was just a afterthought about the Bears on Thanksgiving Day, no problem. But
then they come out Thanksgiving night, it's pouring rain. Brett and Bart are hugging, and they still can't get emotional to play.
No. I kept saying, weather's a big equalizer, and Cutler looked good. I don't care what anybody says. We'll find out what the Vikes have the Bears when.
Second to the last game, maybe, or third to the end.
You know, they're calling for Cutler's head over there in Chicago, and I tell you what, he looked pretty doggone good.
I don't think Cutler has played this well or looked this good since his first or second year at Denver.
He's looking good.
He's looking, and he's under control.
Yep.
He's not screaming at his teammates.
He's not making the big interception.
Yep.
I just kept praying for the big interception, never got it. And then Rodgers gets the big interception. It wasn't much, but at the same time, you know, they've lost 4 out of 5, but they're sitting there 1 game out of first. And all you got to do is make the playoffs, and anything can happen. So just get to about 9 or 10 wins and get the playoffs.
So right now the Pack are 7-4, and they're off till Thursday, back-to-back Thursday games.
And
they go to Detroit, who upset them at Lambeau. So there
3 weeks ago,
should be a little emotion for that game.
I would hope so. Yeah, Rodgers, the best pass he had all night, well, the best throw he had was when he threw his helmet after the game.
Yeah.
That was a nice throw. Okay.
The Vikes, on the other hand, 7-3, so they're a half game up right now. They played down at Atlanta today, and Atlanta's one of those teams, they might score 60 and they might score 6. You just never know about them.
Who's going to show up?
You know, I'm Mr. Optimism.
When we get to the song, I got something for you.
I'm Mr. Optimism, and if I'm really optimistic, I think the Vikes might go 9-7, but my heart tells me 8-8. So, you know, the Pack's only got to win 2 games.
I know, but like I said, I want to be alive long enough to see the Vikings win a Super Bowl, and I think they're on the right road right now. So I'm hoping they get the playoffs this year and show me that, hey, I got something to look forward to before the old ticker gives out on you. You know, geez. It's been going, how many years have they been around, the Vikes? 51 years?
Since 1960.
That's 55 years?
55 years.
Holy crap. I've almost been married that long. Okay.
And we got to throw out a quick mention of the Golden State Warriors.
Yes,
Teddy, 18 straight, a new NBA record at the start of a season.
Have you watched them play?
Oh, they're fabulous.
They really are. Okay, they talked about how Dallas and, in the old days, and they were so unselfish, and Houston and all these teams, and who else is down there? San Antonio, they're all unselfish, but, well, this team is really unselfish. Good Lord.
Talk about shooting the ball. That Curry is unreal.
He's the best. That's what
he
he's
takes shots that you should be screaming, no, 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 and they swish.
Man, nice shot, Seth. Okay.
And the college football playoffs, Teddy, I guess this is kind of the way they want it, like the Big Ten championship, Iowa and Michigan State. The winner probably will sneak in.
Yeah.
The loser won't.
It'll be interesting that 4th spot, because a lot of these prognosticators are picking Oklahoma. And then some are saying no, and they think it's Stanford because they say it was an upset last night. I don't think it was over Notre Dame, but they could maybe. It depends on what they do.
Oklahoma looked awful good against Oklahoma State.
Yes, they did. And Oklahoma State's got that one benefactor, that millionaire that keeps giving them all kinds of money, and they never win the big game. I'd save my money if I were him.
And Clemson won right now, almost got beat. So
did you see by who?
Yeah,
South Carolina. Jeez Louise.
You bet. So
they kissed their season goodbye about 5 weeks ago. Yeah. Scurry,
so I guess the football playoffs are doing what they're supposed to do.
Yep. The prognosticators are happy.
All right. Well,
what else you got?
That'll do her.
Okay, because I brought this because it's going to remind me of the song.
I just think anytime you sing, Teddy, you should be hiding behind something.
Okay. Well, nothing happens till a fat lady sings, right? Okay. At least the game's in hand. This I plagiarized, okay? Here's a little song I wrote. You might want to sing it. Don't worry. Be happy. Okay. Then that sets up everything else, okay? The Gophers and Badgers played football. The axe is named after Bunyan. Paul, don't worry. Be happy. See, I had to reverse it so it rhymed. Okay.
Yeah.
And then I got one for you. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Well, I wanted the audience to be able to figure it out too. Coogie is the man with all the notes. He calls it straight, no sugar coats. Don't worry, be happy. And on that note, folks, be worried, don't worry, whatever. Have a nice weekend. Happy Thanksgiving belatedly to you. Hopefully, we lost one person. I don't need this up.
We want to. I was just going to throw that out. We really want to. Sad deal.
Hate to end it on a downer.
Yep. Katie Zika was unfortunately taken away in a bad car accident. Our condolences to Dave and Lisa and the family. Yeah. She was just a great kid. One of those people, that's how you described her. Really a good kid.
Good student athlete.
Yep.
That's the way it should be. And just taken way too young. Way too young.
Yep. That'll do her for this week's show. We want to thank Stephen Hudson for producing the show. We want to thank my right-hand man, Ted Theodore Hammond, back in the old catbird seat. And most of all, thank you all for watching. Hopefully, we'll see you all next week.
Be happy, be happy, be happy.